Hello, hello! Welcome to Club Chrisette! I'm your host, Chrisette, and welcome back to The Letter. So when we last left off, we were playing as a superstitious real estate agent who found, well, a letter in the attic of this mansion she's trying to sell. And all it said was, "Help me." And she had quite a spookin' with some, I guess, spirits or something. I don't know exactly what she saw or what she thinks she saw at this point. But without further ado, we're gonna get into it. So when we last left off, also the very last thing we saw was this woman named Marianne Bacola. I'm probably not pronouncing her last name correctly. And she was like, yeah, someone already bought this house, and Rose and Isabella were like, are you sure? Let's check with our supervisor. And they have a disaster averted, as it states here, so let's pick up from there. I also didn't miss the thumbs up she gave me for doing a good job, and I can't help but swell with pride. Still, I've already prepared myself to dial the number to the Luxborn office and check, even if she didn't ask for it. I will be very frustrated if for some reason something has already been decided without my or Rose's knowledge. Yeah, that would be very upsetting. You're like, man, whoever gets to sell this property gets a big bonus, and then you're like, well, I guess that's neither of us. Because the company went under our noses and did something. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Moments later, Miss Cahola returns, looking a little frustrated but with an apology clear in her face. I feel a little sorry for her having to go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly. You can stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive.
That smile, man. I'm just gonna change my channel icon to, like, Rose smiling with her real estate smile.
And, Isabella? I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
I apologize if y'all hear, like, little, like, I don't know, like, gushing noises from my end. I'm taking a quick drink of water. So if you hear that on top of someone talking, I thoroughly apologize. Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a set of keys.
And hurry! We've still got a few minutes to double check those papers.
Okay, got it.
The two of them disappear behind the parlor door. Let's read our journal so far. So it's October 21st, yes. So Rose Cooper, along with the woman who introduced herself as Marianne Bacola, found Isabel Santos lying unconscious in the mansion's foyer before the open house started. Unable to recall what happened prior, Isabella insisted on working despite her co-agent's worries about her well-being. Okay. Their departure brings with it a stillness to keep me company, neither welcoming nor comforting. Alone like this, it's impossible not to think about what really happened. So she basically, like, skirted around what she actually remembers. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any phone call from me. Check your freaking phone call log, girl. Was it just paranoia? A temporary lapse of having heard all those tales about this place? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such so I can work in this place. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. If I'm going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. I don't know what's in this house, and I don't want to know. The keys Rose just handed me dig into my palm. Its jagged edges create shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I'm clutching it. It's a reminder of what I need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my Hugging my blazer closer to me, I exit the house to get what Rose had asked for. Just a few hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. What? What was that sudden imagery? A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time the house officially opens. No, I want to know why everything top to bottom was soaked in blood. I'm not sure whether I feel I should be baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, composed the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby, like in the stories. These host birds will have a field day in this. They are murmuring amongst themselves, looking at the state's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Isn't the ground floor the first floor? I don't know, maybe I'm not very familiar with house terminology. Hearing this, a few wander to me. They are mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Sucks to suck. Miss McCullough also joins her group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches. Oh, is this Hannah and... I don't know. Aha!
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
I mean, he just happens to know my name.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
My dementia's just kicking in, love. Don't mind that, though. Ah, they must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before. Some magazine or on television? I can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news one way or another. I wouldn't be surprised if those two already have. For people who are popular, though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. A guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though. That's his trophy wife. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. I think they would brother and sister if it wasn't for their public display of affection. I mean, the Lannisters, man. Ugh. The matching rings on their finger just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. Oh, okay. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed before the current owners can even think about canceling the listing. I just hope one of the people in my group or Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, with papers in hand, I lead the way. Oh, journal update. I know, I'm one of those people. I apologize thoroughly. Today marked the open house of the infamous Ermagerd Mansion. Open to the public for the first time in years, Luxbourne's most esteemed and prominent personalities gathered to catch a glimpse of the 17th century property, including Luxbourne's well-most known couple, Luke and Hannah Wright. Wait, isn't Luke one of the characters' relationship? Yeah, Luke is someone that we're going to be following as well as Hannah later. Okay. when they aren't whispering amongst themselves or going ooh and ah over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the house restoration process went to the history of the place, and I answer them all. More than happy to talk about the art pieces of architecture mostly. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Lexborns knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty. Even the glass thing, colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
Is she talking about the stained window?
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
Is that misspelled on accident? Or?
It is splendid, ma'am.
Story updated. I'll check that later.
But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
Poor Marianne. She's just like, damn, like they're already like fantasizing about what needs to be done. The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but the sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, please, please let these guys be the one. Eventually, our group reaches the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put into retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room, in particular, looks amazing, like the ones I've seen in fairy tale books. And mad props to the cleaning crew. What is this thing on the floor? This, trap door here. I'm just suspicious about it. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks and how much pain in the arse cleaning this will be, they still managed to pull this off. Or make it look presentable, at least. Doesn't mean it's functional.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, we're gonna get to find out!
Oh, don't say anything yet! An underground wine cellar.
This is the first time this guy in gray speaks up. Mr. Lucrate? My memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in this place. But this time, something lights up his eyes at the mention of the Undercroft. What's so interesting about a basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he just gives you the impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way, my younger siblings especially. On a grown man, it's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
That's a complicated. There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems rather pleased that he has started to show interest, if only a little. I smiled to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score! I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and are heading back to the parlor. Funny, the first time BRC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose about how big it is. Now, I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale. We reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. I want to give y'all a minute to listen to this sort of like whisper / scratching in the air sound that I'm talking about. Listen to this for a minute. It's very eerie. It's like some form of inaudible chanting. It starts off as small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ears, and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. Chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have already been requesting for a break anyway. If I could just...
Excuse me, everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we prepared.
That's a very good cover.
If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I'd let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer, until a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
Mrs. Hannah!
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you! Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Is she being sarcastic? She looks super pouty.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker!
Anyway,
Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Ma'am, right? I think Mrs. Wright would be more appropriate, but whatever.
Please, just Hannah. Call me Hannah.
Hannah, okay.
I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
Okay, she's like thirsty for this place. My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see... But we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
I get what she's saying. She's like, wouldn't you like to see the rest of it before you just hastily buy this place? She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with a tight smile, she looks at me as if she'd been tasted a particular sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem.
It's not money.
And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who will probably just fill it up with cats.
Hey, don't talk about me like that.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hannah. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but what's really wrong with cats? You're missing the point, Isabel. More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already? Yeah, that's what you gotta be focused on. That's the key point right now.
Well, I'm more of a dog person. But
Okay.
you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon.
Okay.
And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
Okay.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves.
Why is it doing a triple question mark? We know it's her husband.
What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. I can't help but send an imploring look at Mrs. Cullihan, who gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug. Oh, she knows that things are being rushed.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
Isabella.
Ah!
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
Oh my god, Hannah. Stop.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and what's this?
What? Achievement unlocked D-list horror prop? What? It's the letter! A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though.
It's
I'm
the
sorry.
letter.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled.
I like Marianne's CG here, though. She looks really well painted.
But I'm sure you'll know what to do with all walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Mom. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Ma'am Hannah's leading this conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt
That's good
her.
to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
A smile is back on her face when she turns and hands me the strange piece of
I
paper.
would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't want to hear the rest of what she says after this. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. The side crinkles in my grip, and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Are you alright?
Is it Rose?
You're looking pale.
I didn't even notice when Rose's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say no, I'm not alright. I want to leave this place, because I remember everything as clear as day. The letter and these blood-soaked limbs in the attic. It's real.
Letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them that without looking that I've gone mad? For a moment, guys. I'm very curious where we're at. Just keep saying the story's been updated. So, a lot of things have happened, but we've not had options. Is it because we needed to choose the other option to unlock these other paths? that are being taken right now? Isabella, 8%. Oh my goodness, guys, like, we got a long way to go still. Should I even tell them? Ooh, this is a tough one, guys. This is a very tough choice. I'm trying to think, like, this is a very tough choice, honestly. She'll probably tell us if we show her that one of the cleaning crew left it as a prank. Don't show her the letter, because if we seem unwell, she's gonna take us. That's right.
Rose,
Oh, for some reason we got, you know, points with Marianne for some reason. The words are stuck in my throat. Man, why can't she just say one of her friends gave it to her as a prank and she forgot to, like, toss it out or something? I want to tell her. I really do. But is she going to believe me? She already dismissed me earlier. It's a concussion, she said. It's not. There is something in this house, in that attic, in that letter. It's going after us. Please believe me.
Dear me. Is Isabel alright?
Ma'am Hannah's voice breaks through the haze beginning to cloud my mind. Rose is looking down on me, worry etched in her features. I didn't even notice when she removed the wrinkled paper from my hands and pushed me down to sit in a nearby chair. From the edge of my vision, I could also make out Miss Callahan passing a food server for a glass of water. Through it all, Mr. Wright stands in the sidelines. Although curious, he appears more inclined to watch the scene than help. They are all likely to believe me as Rose does. To everyone, whatever's in this house is just a hoax. A cautionary tale for children.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
No. She offers me a drink, but I push it away. I need to get out of here before I cause an even bigger commotion. Clear my head, take a breath of fresh air. Anything to take my mind off this. No one is going to believe me anyway.
No. I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
I mean, girl is kind of good at not telling things, and she could have just been like, you know, I just feel really bloated. I need to go use the toilet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, bowing my head, I utter a quick apology and gather my step to make a quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
I'm not angry.
Oh, thank God.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before.
She's got a point.
If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her eyes down into her hands. A small gesture to stall. Her fingers fiddling with the piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless. More as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. But I have this nagging feeling, one way or another, it will find its way back to me regardless of what I do about
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery.
Uh-huh.
But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now,
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not.
Listen to her, girl.
All I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
Do we get another choice? She clasped her hands together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do understand. To some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn of the situation has taken, or for her, I really don't know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
You've got to tell her that Hannah's interested in buying, though, too,
Fine.
girl.
Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
She's good. She's got our back.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
At the memory, we both burst into helpless giggles, earning strange looks from the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, alright? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who will fetch you, okay?
Before she's gone, I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. A few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies, gathered some ways across from me, is occupied in a friendly banter about which one should cost more to buy. A little argument here, occasional laughter and teasing there. I smile to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. Rose is probably right. I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help. Speaking of, I should call Ash. It's only a few hours early from what I told him, but he did ask me to call once I'm done. Besides, I don't have a ride back. He offered, so I might as well take it. Or bribe him into giving me one. Not that he'll ever accept the latter, personal convictions and all. Honestly, if there's something I find admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me, it's that. Well, whatever way works, a free ride is still a free ride. There's Rose's offer too, but despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now. A couple minutes, and a few prayers asking for a decent signal later, call finally connects, and...
Shit! What's up, I'm Ash from Deluxe City.
What?
Shit, how loud is this thing even? Trouble? Better not lie.
A sharp ringing fills the entire hall, disrupting...
Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out.
disrupting
Can't
the
beat me.
pleasant
Looking for
quiet
trouble?
that had
Better
settled.
not lie.
Soon enough,
I'm a cool dude.
my
Baggers,
eyes
watch
darted
out.
around the
Can't
small
beat me.
crowd before
Looking for
zeroing
trouble?
in on a
Better
lone
not lie.
figure
I'm a
crouched
cool
behind
dude.
the same
Pretty
group of
fine for an
old
Asian
people
guy.
checking out the decors
Sup,
moments
I'm
ago.
Ash from Deluxe
He is
City.
facing away
Baggers,
from
watch
me,
out.
fumbling
Can't
with
beat
something
me.
in his
Looking
hands.
for trouble? Better not lie.
But I
I'm
don't
a
need to
cool
see his
dude.
face to
Pretty
know
fine
whose
for an
back it
Asian guy.
is.
Sup,
Oh,
I'm
I'd
Ash
recognize
from
that dumb
Deluxe
parka
City.
anywhere.
Baggers, watch out. Can't beat me.
Without
Looking for
bothering
trouble?
to end the
Better
call,
not
I
lie.
marched towards
I'm a
him.
cool dude. Pretty fly for
But
an Asian
what
guy.
happened here today?
Sup,
I'm really
Ash
not in the
from
mood to deal with
Deluxe
this.
City.
Of all the
Baggers,
times
watch
to-
out. Can't
Oh.
beat me. Looking for trouble?
Ashton Frey!
What happens next is something I'll surely regret later for not having recorded.
Ah!
He jumps, lets out an undignified yelp, followed by his phone slipping out of his grip. It bounces from one hand to the other in a poor attempt to catch it before ultimately falling flat on the floor with a resounding clack. I kind of feel sorry for the phone and the floor. But it's not every day that you catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Damn his stupid detective senses. I'll take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Ha! An awkward pause passes between us. A blink. A cough. He makes a face. And then, in a too quick motion, he ducks and retrieves his abused gadget while a grin threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't meet my eyes while he straightens, but a flush has crept up his neck and his cheeks. In another universe, where we haven't known each other for 5 years and suffering through his teasing isn't a day-to-day occurrence, chances are I'd find that adorable. Endearing, even. Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his obnoxiously calm and collected disposition.
Hello to you too, scaredy cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
What? And miss that look on your face? No way. Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Oh no.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
For a moment, he kind of looks like a cat that swallowed the canary. Suddenly checking every nook and cranny in his phone for any damages or scratches. It seems to be a more interesting activity than explaining himself.
Ash,
I could be looking to buy a house.
a mansion?
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
He's messing with me.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
He glances a glimpse at some point behind me. The parlor? Curious, I follow his gaze, but before I can figure out what has caught his attention, he places a hand on my shoulder and turns back to face me.
I just finished working on something, so I dropped by.
I still don't see how his work has anything to do with why he's here. At my confused look, he drops the hand resting on my arm like he has touched something particularly hot and casually rubs the back of his neck.
And I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all.
Aw, he likes you.
So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client.
We have mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
Something must have shown in my face because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how he often looks as if everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, hoping he'll drop the subject and won't ask any more questions. The last thing I want is to tell him what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on Earth I think I'll ever be telling that to if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy. God knows how many times he's helped me out, even without me asking for it. But stuff like ghosts of the supernatural? He'll never believe those, even if he hears it from a friend. Except maybe if it's Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you an explanation why those things have no chance of ever being real. At worst, he's insufferable. He'll poke fun at you every single chance he gets. Asshole. What did I ever do to him? He never does that to Becca or Zach. I can already imagine how things will go down the moment I spill a word of what I saw. Nope, over my dead body. Before it catches his attention, I shove the letter deep into my pocket.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
A rush of air greets me as soon as the main door opens. Not the usual autumn draft, but it's still a welcome change from the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, the soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete in an awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. He calls out once, twice. The mansion still looms in the background. Whispers calling me back, shadows beckoning. What? I don't look back. We spin the ride back to Luxborn City in a relatively quiet manner, with only the radio's disjointed hum in the background to fill the silence. I mean, the honking will fill the silence too. Occasionally, Ash will reach out to fiddle with it until the signal settles, or it's on a respectable volume, but otherwise he doesn't say anything. Neither do I. However, if the glances he's been sending my way are signs, I know there are things he's been itching to ask since we left the mansion. I keep my eyes trained on the passing scenery outside, in a small hope that my disinterest will dissuade him.
Here.
All of a sudden, he tosses me something from the small compartment out his side. It hits me clearly on the chin before I could make a move to catch it. The small package makes a soft landing on my lap instead.
Sorry.
The glare I send him wipes the smirk about to form cleanly from his face. He clears his throat, focusing his eyes on the road again. I swear, he did that on purpose. Ignoring him, I flip the half-forgotten package on my lap.
I won't say no to free food, but why are you giving away cereal bars?
I always have one on my person, and you look like you're about to pass out back there. Have you eaten lunch yet?
I don't even get a chance to deny it. Because right on cue, my stomach rumbles loudly and an empty, gnawing feeling in my belly becomes noticeable. No surprise there. I did skip breakfast and lunch so I could catch Becca while she was on break. I was hoping to get a small meal after. I guess with everything going on, I just forgot until Ash mentioned it. It's not like the Hollow's feeling new to me, though. If anything, it's just one of those things I've gotten used to ignoring over the years growing up. A thanks, then I tear open the package and start nibbling on the edge of the bar. Apart from the acknowledging nod, Ash doesn't say anything after the small exchange. Apart from that, I'm grateful. After getting an earful from both Becca and Rose, it's nice to be able to just sit down with someone who's not going to nag at you.
How'd the open house go?
Horrible.
The usual. We got a bigger crowd than normal because of the property's fame, but really, no different from the typical open house. On second thought, it actually looks like a fancy party more than an open house. I've never felt so underdressed in my life. Weren't you there?
I wasn't really listening.
I should have asked someone to kick you out.
No, you won't.
And what makes you so sure?
One, ever since you got assigned to this property, you've been freaking out about it. Rebecca's words, not mine.
Oh yeah, that's right. She did say that in episode 1 of this, didn't she?
She's been complaining to me about how you talked your ears off, by the way. 2, despite your initial qualms about the place, you still took the job. Which brings us to 3. It's been months since you last settled a deal, and you're short on money right now since you're back to your instant noodle diet.
How'd you even know about the last one?
Rebecca. Anyhow, you're hellbent on selling the mansion. Even if someone you know personally is in the tour group, you aren't going to just kick them out. Every single person who went on your open house is still a prospective client to you, even me.
He's not entirely wrong. Oh man, I walked right into that one, didn't I?
I hate you. I really hate you right now.
His answer is a small laugh. That kind of screams, I'm right, I told you so. I hate it when he does that.
I'll have you know that there's already someone who's extremely interested in this property. So even if you expressed any sort of interest in it, I don't think they'd be willing to let you have it. Too bad.
Provided I didn't botch it with the rights. Why of all times did I have to screw up like that? In front of the important customer, no less. I owe Rose a big apology. I hope she likes free donuts.
You don't seem too happy about it.
I am happy. Doesn't this look like a happy face to you?
Really? And here I was thinking you found another one stuffed in the sofa. Or is it the wardrobe this time?
He meant that as a joke, but how close it is to the truth made my blood run cold and my own heart beat a heavy weight in my chest. All at once, the letter in my bag feels like a whole lot heavier, burdened by my own guilt and apprehension.
Yeah, well, things happened. Stuff the right couple might not be pleased about. No need to make a fuss about it. It's normal in the business.
You made them angry?
Not angry, just
Like?
I accidentally flipped over that. She was going to say stuff happened.
things.
Did they do anything? Your clients, the rights, was it?
I can't answer that. At least, not without revealing everything that took place in the attic. Oh boy. Oh shoot, I did not mean to lie to him. Ah, shoot. The guy who likes us is no longer gonna like us by the end of this playthrough, I betcha. I turn my eyes into a passing outside view. If I remain quiet long enough, he'll get a hint.
Seriously, what happened?
You're already assuming something happened.
I'm not. It's what you said earlier, and that's why I'm asking. What did they do?
They didn't do anything, all right? It's nothing. Work's just been stressful. My boss has been in a bad mood lately over a lost sale. Preparing everything for the open house has been tiring.
I don't know, this sounds like this is very probable. Like, especially that last part.
And then there's the tour. You've seen how big the place is.
I wish he'd just drop the subject and be done with it. It's not like he'll do anything. It's not like he'll do something if I tell him. Outside, the sun has already started its descent, casting a vibrant orange glow on the tall buildings. I wonder how long before we reach the movie house. Zach's been pretty excited about his movie. I'd hate to ruin that for him. But right now, I want this day to be over.
Just so you know, people we interrogate often avoid our eyes when they're hiding something.
People we interrogate often? Are you a policeman?
I'm not hiding anything.
I didn't say you were.
Then why are you still asking about it?
Your face is a lot more expressive than you think.
Can you please just drop it?
Oh my god, yeah, her face is very expressive, like, right now. Jesus Christ. My voice comes out harsher than I intended, and I immediately regret having taken that tone on him. As one would expect, Ash is taken aback but recovers quickly. An uncomfortable silence settles in the car while I find myself wishing I hadn't snapped at him like that. Stupid, stupid, stupid Isabella. It's the first time in months you get to spend time with your friends and you're already messing things up.
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell.
He responds with nothing more than a nod, and I take that as his way of dropping the topic. For now. If the way his jaw tightens is a sign of what he thinks would be about the matter. I just hope I can give a proper answer next time. Time passes quickly between us in the manor, and before I know it, we're already at the movie house. Point of no return. Okay. A small crowd has already formed in front of the theater. I wouldn't say this is a small crowd. It's like 3 people. You know, assuming that this person over here in the red blazer isn't trying to cross the street. These two aren't just, you know, kind of walking around the street. The LIFFest, short for Luxborn Independent Film and Theater Festival, attracts a bigger crowd annually, and this year's no different. I've only seen a few indie screenings with Zach, so I'm not an expert on the matter. But I know that for people hoping to make a break in the industry, getting your film recognized at a local event like this is already a big deal. Especially for a newcomer like Zach. He hasn't won an award, but just getting a confirmation letter that the festival committee wants to include his movie in this year's lineup already put a grin on his face for me. Is Zach someone in here that we're gonna encounter? Oh yeah, Zachary. Okay. What's our relationship with Zach? It's much higher than with Ashton already. Like, even like at its neutral point. Speaking of the guy, he's impossible to miss. At 6 feet, he appears to loom over most of the moviegoers, and with his large build and heavy voice, there's no surprise when people give him a wide breath as they pass by. It's often easy to mistake him for someone intimidating at first glance. Are you going to show him to us then? I did, back when I didn't know any better. Ash did too, I heard, once, early in their friendship.
Oh,
Hey, you guys! Long time no see!
I like him already. He reminds me of Lucio. Zach's face lightens up with a smile of his own. He moves towards us with careful steps, taking a significant effort to make himself smaller so not to bump or accidentally hit anyone. Typical Zach. As he nears, Ash casually raises a hand in greeting and...
Sup, Z-Man, my main man. What's crack-a-lackin', my homie?
Oh my god. The awkwardness that descends in the immediate vicinity of our small group is palatable enough. Somewhere to our left, a girl giggles, and only then do I become aware of my mouth hanging open. I'm almost amazed how Ash could say that out loud with a straight face. Almost. Considering his track record, I should be used to it by now. Zach seems to be, but I mean, he looks really awkward right now.
Yo, stop trying to act black, Ashton. And you're the only one who calls me Z-Man.
He's like, yeah, that's how you know we're friends. There's fondness underneath his exasperated tone. If this were any other person, he'd likely be offended. But years of friendship and familiarity have made those words harmless. But years of friendship and familiarity have made those words harmless to each other's ears. Or at least enough for both to take it in stride.
It's been a while, Zach.
I hope you didn't get into trouble again.
Only with me.
Not much to get into trouble lately without you, I'm afraid. I'll let you know if something comes up, though.
Nah, I ended up with chicken down stuck on me last time I agreed. I'd really love at least this year to pass without some sort of accident happening again.
Hey, I take offense to that. It wasn't that bad.
You really have no idea.
A beat passes. And then Zach laughs.
Hey, I'm kidding. You know you can always count on me.
It's a story only the two of them are privy to. Every now and then, Ash will enlist Zach's help on something. Becca and I never really found out what the real deal was with those adventures, as Ash calls it, but both aren't willing to tell you to some unspoken agreement. She insists that if it's Ash, it's likely not something illegal or life-threatening. I tend to believe her on that. Sometimes. Well, boys will be boys, I guess. I give Zach a small wave from behind Ash when his attention eventually turns to me.
Bella!
Yeah!
Huh? Rebecca's not with you. Is she still sick?
Yes, unfortunately.
A bit. But she's up and went to work this morning. You know she doesn't listen to anyone that's not Ash.
Yes, she does.
Why is he all upset all of a sudden?
No, she doesn't. You're literally the only person she'll listen to when she's feeling stubborn.
And it's true. They've known each other far longer than any of us in the group. Childhood friends and all.
But don't worry, Zach. She's probably on her way here now. She promised she wouldn't miss your movie. Isabella! Oh, thank goodness!
Speak of the devil. Without warning, a hand grabs me by the shoulder and turns me around.
Becca, you're just in time.
I have to lean back a little with the way her face is almost invading my personal space, but she places her hand on either side of my head to keep me still. She stares at me intently, concern filling her eyes.
Becca, you're squishing my face. How are you? Are you all right? Why wouldn't I be?
Rose
called me earlier.
Ah, okay. Those four words tell me all I need to know. Since I don't have my family living close by, and the only other relative I have works here on the far side of the country, I gave my company Becca's contact number in case of emergency. I should have known Rose would call her. I pushed Becca's hands away from my face. Although she lets go, her eyebrows remain drawn together.
Oh, no, everything's good. Rose covered for me at work today.
That's not what I'm talking about. How's your head?
Yes, that's exactly what she's talking about. Behind me, Ash snickers. I bit back the urge to elbow him in place of trying to avoid Becca's hand as she tries to reach out for the said area. I do my best to dodge her, all at once moving to hide behind Zach. Sorry for using you as a human shield, Zach.
Oh, it's nothing. I just slipped off a few steps on my way down. I blacked out for a few seconds and had a minor bump, but it's just that.
You blacked out? It's not something to brush off. Come on, at least let me check it.
It's extremely minor. You wouldn't even know it's there.
Isabella, this isn't a laughing matter.
She did look pale when I saw her.
Wow, thanks a lot, Ashton, you traitor. I'll get you back for this. Just you wait.
What? I'm just saying it as it is. If you mentioned this earlier, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Oh, I wonder if, the change the topic would have been this.
I'm sorry. Saw her?
Yeah, they arrived together. Bella looked fine to me then. I don't know.
Something crosses Becca's face, but it's gone before I can figure out what it is.
Oh, that's good. At least she didn't have to travel alone, right? At least. Good.
Is Rose upset and jealous?
See? I'm okay. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. And I don't want to miss Zach's film.
We can always watch it some other time.
No, we have to watch it now.
Sorry, Zachary.
No, it's good. But you guys should really keep it down. We're starting to attract some attention.
It's the premiere. The premiere's different. Right, Zach?
I shoot him a pleading look. Zach's a sensible guy. He'll understand. Please understand.
Not really. But Rebecca has a point. In the end, I think it's your call.
What?
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Please, Becca. I really don't want to miss it.
You're not missing it. Oh, we're just moving it on a different day so we can have a.
Look, you guys.
Ash's loud sigh unexpectedly cuts through the conversation. He's pinching the bridge of his nose as he speaks, something he usually does when he's getting impatient.
If she says she's okay, then there's nothing we can do about it. It's not like we can stop her either. Besides, she's still acting like the same old Isabella to me, if she can still run around like that.
Why are you taking her side?
Ooh!
I'm not. But if she wants to watch Zach's movie with us, I'm not going to stop her. She's probably the one looking forward to it the most.
Ash, that's. You, of all people, should know.
Tell you what, if I notice something amiss with her, I'll take her to the nearest hospital myself. Is that good enough for you?
I already know the answer before Becca voices it out. When at least she releases a deep breath and nods, albeit with great reluctance, I immediately tackle her into a hug.
Thanks, Becca.
It's always been you with him, isn't it?
Ooh. Oh, wow. That was a heavy line. Jesus Christ.
Did you say something?
Yeah?
Me? Nothing. Don't mind me.
Okay.
If you say so.
God,
Okay,
this
guys,
is gonna make
showtime's
things
close,
really
so
awkward.
I think I'm gonna get us some snacks. My treat. And then let's head inside. Anyone here has a smaller bill?
I think I do. Hold on.
I pull myself off of Becca to get my wallet from my bag in.
What's this?
It's already in Ash's hands before I can even react. Behind him, Becca and Zach are both giving the piece of paper an intrigued look.
No! Give it back!
It's just a paper.
I don't care! Give it!
Looks ancient, too. Why do you keep this around?
I try to reach for it, but he holds the paper way above his head. I've never been particularly sensitive about my own height, but right now I really do wish I had that advantage over him.
Don't open it!
What's the big deal? It's not like it's a love letter. I don't see any reason to... Hold on a second. This is, isn't it?
Even if it is, it's not for you.
Okay, now I'm curious.
I'm telling you, it's nothing like that. It's...
The rest of my words are lost as he unfolds the paper. Too early for Halloween. Okay, that's the next thing our next achievement. I can't breathe. My heart feels stuck in my throat, pounding, threatening to burst out. Vaguely, I note how my hands are trembling at my sides. Clasping them together doesn't do any good. They are still shaking, but I hang on to them regardless. The awful, sick weight that has taken its core into my stomach back in the open house returns full force. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? How do I fix this? Someone, please. Today is turning out to be a horrible nightmare.
Send this to 5 people or else. Well, that's interesting.
Guys, I think we should listen to Bella first.
Aren't you a few days early for Halloween?
Ash waves the paper in front of me, giving me a fleeting glimpse of its contents. I don't need to see it. I don't want to see it. The letters, the words, every stroke written in blood is already embedded in my mind. Maybe I should have just thrown it away when I had the chance. That way.
It's not a prank.
It makes all of them stop. Even I am surprised at how steady my voice is.
What did you say?
He looks so stunned in his art over here. He's just kind of like, huh?
This isn't a prank! I saw something!
Hold on. Are we still talking about this paper? Or is it about the urban legend again?
It's about both.
Both. I know it sounds ridiculous.
Ah, we're in sync.
You're saying this is a primitive version of a chain letter, and now that we've seen it, we're now cursed. You've
Yes.
gotta be kidding me.
See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys.
Oh, shoot.
Isabella, aren't you taking this a bit too far?
It's not a joke! Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have.
Right. And in broad daylight, Isabella. Even someone gullible would find the logic in that screwed up. There's also no way in hell that this supernatural shit is true.
But it's real! What do you think I saw?
A hallucination? A delusion? Didn't you say you fell down some stairs? So maybe Rebecca's right.
It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
Because you're in an episode of Goosebumps or something.
And you know that. But this thing and that thing has got nothing to do with the other. When Rose called earlier, I thought she's just exaggerating. But based on what I'm seeing right now, maybe it's better if we really postpone this for now.
Don't bother.
Without another word, I snatched the letter out of Ash's hand and stuffed it right back into my bag with more force than necessary. I'm tired. I got cursed. I saw a ghost. Probably lost a sale. Got kicked out of the open house I'm supposed to be hosting. My own friends won't believe me. And all of them now think I'm crazy. To top it all off, there's a dull ache at the back of my head begging for a little attention I can't afford to give right now. Honestly, there's so much a person can take within a single day. I just want to go home, curl up in my bed, and never think about today. But before I can take a single step away from the group,
Guys!
Zach rarely ever raises his point, even when there's a point he wants to drive home. And hearing him take on that tone completely throws me off. Even Ash and Becca. Whatever harsh words yet to come out from the argument immediately die on our tongues.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her.
Oh, thank you, Zach.
And hey, ain't this supposed to be a happy get-together? We haven't seen each other for months. I'd really love to know what y'all have been up to. I only ever get to talk to Bella over chat. Please.
He has a point. Ash, for all his attempts to look cool and distant, has also been looking forward to this. Even he took the time to call this morning for a reminder. He never does that. Becca too. I'm pretty sure that's another reason why she got out of bed today. Yet, despite Zach's attempts to lighten things up, Ash and Becca acquisitioning gestures, the tightness remains in my chest. I should have just kept it to myself, or at least went with the idea that it's a prank. If I did, things might have not turned out the way they had. No sour mood, no bad vibes. Where are we at in this particular chapter so far? We're still at 17%. I'm amazed that we're only at 17%. Like I said, I'm mad that I picked to lie to him. Careless, so careless. Maybe leaving is the better decision for all of us. Stay for the movie. Any other day, I'd excuse myself and go straight home. Who did this improve our relationship with? Oh, yeah. Becca really didn't want us to stay. Shoot, man. This is going to be one of those tough games. Our relationship has improved with Zachary, and we're back to normal with Ash. Which is fine. Any other day, I'd excuse myself and go straight home. But this is something special to Zach. Something he works so hard to bring to life. I should know better. I might be having a bad day, but being out with the few people I care about far outweighs the idea of spending the rest of my day throwing a tantrum alone in my room. And what if the thing in the attic follows me home? I don't want to be left with my thoughts either. I can still see it whenever I close my eyes. And maybe if oh shoot, I went a little too fast. One step at a time, Isabella. That's what Mama used to say. Besides, I don't have the heart to ditch Zach. A smile is back on my face when I look back at
If
them.
we keep arguing here, we're going to miss the first few minutes.
Alright, that's the Isabella I know.
Yeah!
Oh, good. I thought for sure you were going to cry.
What? This time, I really do send an elbow straight to his stomach. Ah! Stupid Ash, being vertically challenged has its perks too.
What was that for?
Stop calling me a crybaby! I'm not one!
Aw, don't cry.
Stop it!
Okay, scaredy
Ashhole.
cat then.
That too! If you repeat that, I swear I'll.
Let's just go.
Oh man, Becca's so upset with us, man. Without another word, Becca goes inside. She doesn't even stop to wait for us when I call after her. Ash and I exchange looks that the same question likely swimming inside our minds. Something happened at school after I left? Is she having a bad day too? I'll try asking her about it later, I guess.
So, you guys go catch up with her. I'll go get us the food I promised.
But you'll miss it!
Didn't you say watching a movie without food ain't fun? It ain't like I haven't seen it. I made it, remember? I'll be in there soon.
I like this dude. Man, I like Zach already. I relate to him. One friendly tap on my shoulder, and then he's gone. A few moviegoers are still milling about. Some are waiting in line for tickets, but otherwise, most of the crowd is already inside. There's nothing much for us to do out here now. Not a word of protest comes from me when Ash gestures for the two of us to head inside.
And then?
Are you sure it wasn't one of the cleaning crews?
Absolutely sure.
Somehow halfway through the movie, the conversation steered towards what happened in the mansion. To be fair, Zach was the one who brought it up again. In his own movie premiere. And now, the movie's just serving as background noise while we're speaking in hushed tones, careful not to disturb anyone inside the small hall. Well, except for Ash. I just hope we don't end up arguing about it again. We'd all get kicked out for sure. Well, with how loud Ash's voice is, we'll probably get thrown out before any arguments happen. Only Becca remains engrossed in the movie, completely ignoring us. She's been quiet the whole evening, speaking only when referred to. If I didn't know any better, I'd think something had offended her. Did we?
And then I ran. You heard what happened after.
I still think it's something else.
It was standing right in front of me, Ash.
He's one of the smartest people I know, but geez, he should learn to listen. Plus, didn't he say he doesn't believe in these things? Why is he in this conversation again?
I heard what you said, but it's a small room. There are a lot of things someone else could have done there without your knowledge. If I could see it up close, maybe I can...
I am not going back there.
Ain't that a problem if you're hosting an open house?
Rose does the first floor tour.
I ain't sure ghosts can be restricted to one room, Bella.
There are no ghosts, Zach. Stop putting useless ideas in her head.
I'm still surprised we're at 17%, man.
Yeah, but I was thinking, maybe all the house needs is a blessing. Wasn't it left uninhabited for years?
Oh, the house did change hands over the years, from one distant relative of the Ermagerd to another. None of them bothered to live in it, though, and it remained that way up until its current owners decided to sell it. Why didn't I think of that?
I didn't peg you as the religious type, Zach.
Nothing like that, Ash. Who knows, though? It might bring something positive to the place.
That's not a bad idea. I just don't know where I could find someone.
You're not seriously considering his suggestion, are you?
Do you have a better idea?
I know where. I could contact him for you if you want.
You'd do that?
Or we can find you a psychologist instead.
There are very few times in my life when I wish my glowers could kill. This is one of those.
Ash, that is not a very appropriate thing to say right now.
No, wait, that's not what I meant. Ethnographer. I meant ethnographer. This guy's a psychologist too, of course, if you...
Ashton, if you don't stop...
Rebecca knows the guy I'm talking about too. She can vouch for him.
Becca tears her eyes away from the screen at the mention of her name.
Huh? What? Oh, are you talking about Professor Andrew? He used to work with my parents at the university. And can you guys keep it down?
Sorry, the scaredy cat here mentioned curses. Not that I'm saying this is one, but talking to him is a better solution for me than getting a random priest to bless an old house. He'll even help you figure things out, teach you a couple things. and probably put your fears to rest since this looks to be bothering you a lot.
Ash might be right too. However, what Zach suggested is something I'm far more familiar with. Granted, they don't believe me. They're only giving me these suggestions to put my mind at ease. But it's better than being ignored and being laughed at. I can take comfort in knowing that they're willing to hear me out.
So, what do you think?
It's your call. We'll go with whatever you want.
I don't know.
Who should I meet? Oh, God. This is a heavy choice. I think that's what we're going to call it for now, though. This is a good place for us to pick right back up, with a very heavy choice that will, make one of our friends happy and the other one really upset with us. Inevitably. So far, I like Zach, so I feel like meeting with the priest would be a good idea. But I mean, I'm also curious to see what this professor has to say. But anyway, who do you think I should meet up with? What is your suggestion? I'd like to hear your ideas down below. And I'm very curious to see how this story is going to take off. Like, I feel like this first chapter is a lot lengthier than I expected. I did not realize how lengthy this game is going to be when I booted it up. I should have checked that, but you know what? That's okay. That means we just have one long series for October, and we'll have a bunch of other, shorter series that are, 2 or 3 episodes long each, which is also fine. But alrighty, everybody. Until next time, you all have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!